All right, well, good morning, Jack Dawn. This is John Tice coming to you today from Chambersburg. And I guess I'll make sure I mute everybody before we have some racket in the back once again. But I hope you're off to a great day.
To unmute your line, press *6 or pound 6.
Road and a webinar under my belt, so you might actually see some new stuff that just learned this morning myself. So I hope you're having a great week, and you're taking advantage of this market that we're seeing really pick up, and it's going to be an interesting year for us. Again, 2014 year of thinking big, and some big action out there, so I hope you're a part of that. We had a great day yesterday with some skill builder classes and call to action in the Camp Hill office. So if you're not taking advantage of call to action, do your own. We're going to do a virtual call to action very soon, so I can reach out to more of you and you can get involved. I'd really like to see some involvement without you having to drive to Camp Hill. We covered some fun techniques yesterday. I was hoping for a larger crowd simply because of the open house that's coming, and I know we had some valuable ideas of ways to really maximize these open houses. If you're going to take your time and hold them, why don't we maximize it as much as we can? Maybe you'll get some ideas today on how you can leverage your presence at anything you do by using a little video. Did you ever do an open house where nobody showed up and you were pretty darn bored? Would you consider a virtual promotion during your open house that allows the world to kind of check in and see the home without getting out of their bathrobe? And I've got my #1 video fan here, Betsy Miller in Chambersburg, who actually takes me seriously and acting on some of these ideas. Guys, I would look out for her because she's leveraging some promotions of her property. And who was the most excited person with what you did last week other than me? The sellers. So guess what, guys? The sellers like this stuff. And did it sell the house?
Not yet.
But the sellers are happy.
The sellers are happy. They're selling everything.
So I don't know if you heard that, but sellers are happy. The home didn't sell. This is a whole week with a video, and the home didn't sell. So maybe that's not going to sell it. But the sellers are happy. They shared Betsy's items on their Facebook page to their world. They're telling their friends what this agent is doing, what other agents didn't do. And so the only thing cooler than all of this is getting paid to sell it, which with this kind of momentum, that would be cool. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of good going on here. How much time do you have in that little video promo?
Maybe 2-3 hours.
So 2 hours, you had to drive to the house, take pictures, you set up YouTube for yourself. You had to find Movie Maker, download it, set it up. So you did all that stuff in a little more than 2 hours to create your first video. And call me when you get your first referral from the sellers.
I will.
And then do the math with me on what was the return of her investment and time of that video. See, I want you to understand one thing, everybody. Part of what we're doing here is looking to sell homes. And at the end of the day, selling homes and getting paid is what it's all about. But what if it also brought you more business along the way? So I don't know about you when you go out to an open house. I certainly would love the idea of going out and selling the home. But aren't you truthfully looking for some buyers, maybe some other sources of business? If you pay attention to me, you might be looking for the next listing as you go through this. But all that aside, if you pick up more business by these efforts and start that snowball rolling, and you're willing to do this, I bet you're faster than 2 hours on the next one you build. So if you're willing to invest a little time, learn something, apply a new skill that brings you more business, and how much money did you spend last week creating all this?
Just my gas, just back and forth.
So you were going to drive to the house anyway because you needed to. So you have gas involved. So, yeah, there's no investment here except your time, little gas to get to the property and take the pictures, and she had to go anyway. I'm not sure what I'm missing here. I would certainly tell you to give it a go and give it a try. So we're going to be sharing something a little later today. Ian Weaver, the manager in Carlisle, he and I are doing a little video interview program. You're going to see more of these. Ian's calling it Realty Talk. We did our first one with Mimi Lambert. Mimi, as many of you know, is a lady that's in her 80s somewhere, I believe, or late 70s. She's going to kill me. But either way, she's been around a while. She's been an educator for almost 30 years in the real estate business, started out as an agent, and you'll hear her story in the interview. But there's a lady without a smartphone, doesn't have a lot of connectivity, doesn't have a lot of computer background. She's teaching basic real estate classes and does a fine job and has been a great partner with us for years and is licensed to jack on. But as we sat down to create that interview and set things up, Mimi's first comment, and it's actually what inspired me for today, her first comment was, guys, this is really pretty neat. Do you think you could see yourself communicating with a buyer or a seller who's at a distance and doing a video link up to chat with them? So when you're presenting an offer or presenting an inspection report or any of the pieces along the way, wouldn't it be great to see their reaction as you explain it to them? Because that would tell so much more than an email or a phone call. You get to see their facial expression, their reaction. A lady without any tech skills nailed it for why this is an important topic. And that's what we're talking about today. If I wanted to reach out and talk to you all, we're doing it right now. Why do I put video in the corner? Well, because I can. And I just think it adds another dimension when you get to see the presenter as opposed to just a screen or my blank slides. And if the volume or the speech doesn't perfectly match with the video, does that actually bother you? So it's not going to, by the way. And in some of the programs I'm going to show you, it may or may not, and that might be one of your criteria if you're really anal about some stuff like that. But let me explain. The important thing is that you're coming across in a new and different medium, that you are communicating with your customers in a way that it's more personal and evokes a little emotion. And for those of us, the baby boomer group, who we know love to do business face-to-face anyway, guess what, guys? This is face-to-face. It's just not in person. And so we can leverage these tools and become more effective and efficient, which is always my mantra. Practically everything I'm going to show you today is free, of course. So, you know, one of the interesting things, we're learning about this, we're thinking about it, but there are plenty of you and plenty of friends of mine that I know have grandchildren that do this on a regular basis. We have a video chat with grandma every night. She reads a story to us because they're across the country or across the state. Unfortunately, I have children that are a little technologically deficient and can't figure out how to put me on the on a video camera with their children. So I'm going to have to go out and wire that one up for them one of these days. But to those of you that are stumbling or thinking, would this really be effective? You have a group of children that are 2 and 3 and 4 years old out there that can initiate this call to grandma. And that's the way they're going. They're learning to do business, and that's where grandma is. Grandma is on the iPhone, and I just push this button, and it calls her, and we have a live video chat. Let's catch up to the 4-year-old, guys. So here's a couple thoughts for you on how we can go about doing this one. So depending on, do you want to go live, or do you want to send a message, or maybe a marketing message? I know you're getting a lot of videos from me. You're getting video included here. But, you know, I stood out in the snow the other day and managed to create a couple videos just for fun because there was just not much going on that day. No one showed up for me. So I simply created a few promotional videos for some things that are coming up. Why did I go that route? Well, I wanted to first connect with an audience in another part of the state where I'll be going where they don't know John Theis. And I was trying to encourage participation in the class. I wanted to give them an idea of who I am, a little bit of my style, and well, it's either going to hurt or help attendance in the class, bottom line. But I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to just send an email, a postcard, an e-card. I wanted to give it a little bit of life. So I stood out in the snow and recorded some things. That took a little more technology set up as far as cameras and microphones to pull that off, maybe more than what you want to deal with, and that's fine. So how about if you have a laptop with a webcam and you'd like to be involved in doing video emails right now? But what you're looking at on your screen is iJot. And just like it says, video mail in a blink. Now, this is pretty basic stuff. But you can set up an account. You can set up an account that's free. It's going to run across all platforms. It streams at a very high rate. So you get a very nice image, good sound quality. It's working with the microphone and the camera built into your laptop if you have that set up. Very, very simple. And you can record a message and have a video email going out in seconds. If you want to capture it and do some other things for promotion, may not be your best choice, but for communicating with a group, creating a message, it doesn't get much simpler than this. And yes, there's an app for your phone, so you can do it very simply. Your phone already has a camera built into it. Depending on your model, you might have two, so you can flip around, watch what you're doing. But you can create these things very simply and email them to your customers very quickly. So you had a listing appointment last night, or you have a buyer meeting coming up, and you'd like to give them a little bit of a lowdown of what they can expect, or thanks for having me out, just a fun little follow-up. Why not send them a little video iJot email? You will certainly look different than the other responses if they got one at all. Thanks for your time. Thanks for having me in. It was a pleasure meeting you. You know it. You know what to say. You just don't follow up. Or you send a standard email, and it just doesn't have the pizzazz. But the whole time we're doing this, we're demonstrating that we're tech-savvy. And they want to hire a tech-savvy person. So if it's an older client and they don't have email, well, you can't do it. I get that. But for the majority of your clients, especially the buyers that are coming through the internet, that we're sending replies and they never write back, those terrible leads you're getting, wouldn't this be a great opening email? Thanks for your inquiry. They get to make an emotional connection with who you are. They see that you're tech savvy. You getting this? You're all right. Got the best audience member right now I'm going to have all year. But you get to make a different impression. Many of us always say, you know, I get these leads. If I could just get in front of them, I bet I could convert more. Get in front of them with an email. Take control, take charge, get back to them in minutes. And with iJot and pretty much any of these, you can do that quite simply. So depending on your level of excitement, iJot is a one-way thing. I'm sending them a video email. They get to watch my message. They can reply to you, but it's kind of a one-on-one thing, and it's a little disjointed because you get a message, you return a message, it's an email. And iJot's been around for a few years, very effective, but maybe a little limited. So maybe you'd like to do something a little more fun and totally interactive. So you've got a lot of choices. So I want to do a live call. Platform that I would recommend to you, Google+. Why Google+? Well, depending on the nature of your discussion, maybe you need more than one person involved. And Google+ has a feature called a Hangout. A Google+ Hangout is an interactive phone call. It's a video call. You're able to do it. I believe it's limited to 10 people. But depending on what you're looking to do, it can be live between 2 people, but up to 10 people. It's great for small group meetings. I know many of you meet with builders. Maybe you'd like to avoid driving on site where you can't attend a meeting and you'd like to chime in with your builder. How about a hangout? Everybody has this equipment built into their laptops. It's certainly built into your cell phone and or your iPad, and all of them are capable of doing this hangout. But you can put this iPad in the middle of the table and have your builder beam in to your office meeting and have some input. Or, let your imagination run wild here, guys, and think, how could we incorporate this with somebody that's out of town? Who knows? But they're off-site and you'd like to incorporate them. Maybe a vendor that you'd like to have speak at your meeting that you just don't want to take their time to have them drive, fly, whatever, but you want them live and they're willing to do it. You can do so much in 10 minutes and save somebody all the travel time, which is why I'm beaming these out and I archive them. Because I know you're not all coming to Chambersburg, but you can participate. I know I've got participants from all around the company chimed in here from Camp Hill, Hershey, without actually getting in their car. So you'll be able to do that at your builder meeting, investor meeting. It'll be fun for Relo. It'll be awesome for Relo because those folks work in these environments every day, demonstrate that you're part of that world. So a Google Plus Hangout can be great. Depending on how you do it, if you do the Hangout on air, and depending on the topic and your discussion, other people can view it, and trust me, they will find it, they will watch it, because the ones that you see on my screen right now are actually live video conversations that I could click and drop right in on and see. Here's an open source CMS discussion. Don't know what it is, but I could check it out. There's a beauty hangout. Sounds fun all by itself. But these are constantly being broadcast and are showing up, all the ones that are available and out there at any given time. So when Ian and I do our Realty Talk, it actually streams live like this so people can find us. And in our first adventure, somebody tuned in and had a question for us on what we were doing. It's amazing. People have a lot of free time, apparently, and they find this stuff. So make sure what you're putting out there is appropriate if you share it in an open format. Let's move on to a couple others. So we already know that within YouTube, we have our pieces living. But do you know that that's for your Google Hangouts? If you record them, they'll be recorded and dropped right into YouTube. And we'll be posting one later today. That's, like I said, our conversation with Mimi. And Ian's going to be pushing that out as soon as I give him access to the file. Long story, but we'll get him there. And as you're streaming through Google Plus, YouTube, because they are owned by the same company, simply our partners, and what a great tool. 10 people video conversation that you can record live as it's going. Everything is free. A conversation like that just a couple years ago would have been thousands of dollars if you could pull it off, and it would have been quirky and jerky. This is incredibly smooth, and I hope you watch and give us some feedback on what you thought of the format, and maybe a question that you'd have for Mimi. And we've got some kind of cool guests lined up. Ian's got a lot of ideas, and we're going to be bringing those to you shortly now that we're taking the wrinkles out of the platform. A very early player in the multi-person format for doing video conferencing is called ooVoo. Probably never heard of ooVoo. It's been there a while. But there you can do a video chat with up to 12 friends. Again, ooVoo has a lot of free features. And, of course, there's a paid platform also. Can't say that I've used ooVoo lately, but as you see their features, video chat with 12 friends, send cool video messages, record and upload to YouTube, instant messaging, so group messaging, all those things are possible. And of course, that's where you're going to get into some of the paid features. But depending on your platform, ooVoo is always noted for their high quality, even in the free platform. You can see that it's suitable for PC, Mac, Android, iPhone, and Facebook. So satisfactory for all your platforms, so you can get over yourself on that one. Breaks down the features, the mobile features, and then where you go with the premium features. Now, many of us are walking around with iPhones these days, and that gives you access to an application called FaceTime, which is the iPhone version of a video chat. So, you know, maybe the kids don't have an iPhone, they don't have an iPad, maybe you don't, but your kids do, and you'd like to chat with them. How about a PC version or FaceTime for PC? So you can originate and connect with an Apple device from your PC, which would be my Windows laptop with a webcam and microphone, and I can connect. I'm going to send this to my kid. I can connect from my Windows PC to a FaceTime feature and call your iPhone. So all I did was Google this one to see if there's anything for FaceTime for PC, and guess what? There's a FaceTime for PC. And how much will that cost? Well, gee, it's free. Come on, the phone systems we have in the offices these days. Voice over Internet Protocol, VoIP, simply using the Internet as our connecting link between our two apps and two computers. You'll see that it even works with Vista. I'd like to see that happen. But it's simply going to download an app. It's going to connect through your computer with pretty much standard setup, pretty basic setup. You've got something that good or better. And you're ready to go ahead and connect with somebody through their Apple device. So we're going cross-platform with a free app. Pretty cool. Again, you could start this stuff today and reach out to your customer who's got that iPhone and originate a voice or video conferencing call. If you just go to Google and say, gee, what are video chat apps? Do you think you're going to get a lot of responses? How about 353 million replies? So if you don't have something that matches in here that you want to use, and you can see ooVoo is very highly rated, shows up very high in the response. Well, you're just not trying hard enough. There's plenty of apps, plenty of choices. There's all kinds of stuff that you can find that you can like. But 353 million, seriously, I think you'll keep yourself busy. Now, if you're not convinced that this is a platform that has legs, that people are actually going to use this and they're going to conduct business, don't know if any of you caught the news last week, but I received an email from one of you just saying, you know, are you okay with your WhatsApp jack on? Because actually a lady in the Hershey office that might not be that connected, but certainly reads the New York Times. So she is very connected to world news. Sent me a cute little piece. Am I aware that Google just spent, what was it, 20% of their net worth to acquire an app that most of us have never heard of? They acquired WhatsApp. So they ripped me off that fast. But WhatsApp is just what it says here. It's a cross-platform mobile messaging app which allows you to exchange messages without having to pay for texting. It's available on all platforms, and you can send videos, you can send text, you can do group chats on text, You can share pictures, you name it. Geolocate where you are while you're doing this. And an app, WhatsApp, that I've never heard of, just sold for like $16 billion and was acquired by, or is being acquired by Facebook. Facebook is going highly mobile. They know that's where the world is and where they're moving. Ever since they did their initial IPO, what was their weak link when they came out of the box and went public? It was their mobile side. They weren't monetizing or getting any money for mobile advertising. Over the last year, while they've been released in a public version, that's where they've had all their significant growth in revenue, is on the mobile side. If you're paying attention, although we laughed at them when they first came out, and then everybody cheered as their stock price went down, they've had recovery to their stock price simply because of their mobile advertising dollars that they brought up. $16 billion with a B for an app that you and I have never heard of, simply because it has so many highly engaged and active users on a daily basis. People are paying for the bodies that are logged into these systems. And if you look at the picture here for group chats and look at the average age of the people in that picture, don't you want to do business with these kids that are in college and coming from college? Well, they're already on this platform, guys. So it could be one you want to pay attention to. And if not necessarily use it, I don't care if you use it or not, but use a product similar to it so you can reach these people in a format that they're already doing business and that they expect to be connected to. And that's my whole point in all of this. Open your mind, try something new, just like Betsy tried, and she got an immediate response. Give something new a try. It wasn't scary. It wasn't difficult. You didn't invest any money. You were killing time anyway, and you made a connection with an owner who's a raving fan this week, and that's just all good. That's all we want at the end of the day, other than to get paid. There's no doubt in my mind that Betsy's on the way to getting another piece of business simply because she's playing with the toys. And it wasn't difficult. And actually, if you get to see it, find Betsy on Facebook and just go look at her video. It's very basic. It's very simple. There's no soundtrack to it. At least there wasn't originally. So you've added one. Terrific. But, I mean, this is basic in its very basic form. It was her first attempt, and the owners loved it. If you get better, what are they going to do? They'll probably get dinners.
I hope so.
So what's not to love? For those of you that have to wait for it to be perfect and master it and nail it and do all those things, good for you. But in the meantime, what are you doing? Perfectionism is a disease. Give yourself a try. Give some of this a try. View it. Show it to your friends and family. But realize it's way better than anything else. And if you watch Betsy's piece, you'll see that there's some neighborhood information. You know, she's adjoining state game land. I just love the first picture of it, actually. I thought it was very awesome. We discovered an owner yesterday on a for sale by owner site that you might want to go to the for sale by owner sites and see what your true competition is doing, because there's an owner marketing their property over $800,000 for sale by owner. But if you read the comments and remarks on their for sale by owner site, they're giving you so much local information. And then he had a video attached, which I couldn't resist. I had to watch the video, 16 and a half minutes long. You know, I didn't make it. But everything in that video was, here's a little bit about my property itself. Here's something local. Here's something local. And he blended in all these local activities and actual pictures and scenes from them into that. So what is the lifestyle of living in that marketplace? Do you want to go up against that owner as competition? Because if you call him as a for sale by owner, I saw you on the website, if you didn't pay attention to what he's posted, he's going to kill you. Because this is what he's doing, this is what his expectation is. Let's at least be as good as the owners that are out there marketing their properties. Let's be as good as the 4-year-old that already knows how to do FaceTime, guys. And take it to a new level. At least apply them in its basic format. Call each other in practice. This is not rocket science. But call each other in practice. Try something new. Add it to your repertoire. Let the owners know that this is what you do. And walk the walk. Because they will be totally impressed. And it just doesn't take that long, and it takes no investment at all. So I hope this has opened your mind a little bit. I'm going to open the lines, and in case someone has a question for me today that they'd like to add in, other than Betsy, my live studio audience here today. And anyone with a question out there? Question for you, kiddo?
Actually, I want to tap into the market as far as solicitation. I'm going to try to use, I've done mailing, and I've called people, and I've knocked on people's doors, but because we have Cole Realty, and I have access to people's emails, if they've made them available, I want to try to do one of the videos and shoot it out to someone just to test it and see what it does.
You needed to come to my call to action yesterday. We would have built something that rocked. So the question here is, how can I incorporate this into prospecting? Very cool idea. It would have been a fun one for our little program yesterday. And, you know, for me, as far as call to action goes, if you show up with that kind of an idea and we put something together, we're going to do something awesome. So call to action may not be what you think it is, guys, but at the end of the day, it's all about getting your prospecting in some format. Excellent question, and when we sign off, she and I are going to be playing with this one. So anybody else with a question out there, anything regarding this? Otherwise, we'll call it a day. Well, hearing none, everyone, you have a great day, a great week. Get ready for, I think it's a little cool out there today, but things are heating up. We've got great numbers going on for sales. We're seeing great inquiries, great action on properties. Get out and list something, and find a way to set yourself apart, because in many other places in the country, they are struggling with short inventories. And it's coming our way. Maybe not today, but certainly throughout this year. So Betsy's already building her arsenal of what I do that's cool. We're stacking the cool, guys, on how to set yourself apart from the other people, including your 4-year-old grandchild or the for sale by owner down the street. So John Tice coming to you on my WebEx Thursdays. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll do this again next week. Have a great week. Sal South.